This is a 2026 Ford F-150 Lariat. And let's face it, Ford's marketing team is brilliant. I borrowed this truck from Garff Ford here in West Valley, Utah. This truck is available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window stickers so you guys see some of the options and features on this build. At the very top is the description. Oxford white is the paint with the black interior, ActiveX seats. And then this is a short listing of the standard features. Be sure to pause to see more. Now you guys see this one does have the 501A equipment group. This is the mid package as they call it. And then down below are the options. So this one does have the black appearance for $1,475. FX4 is $1,320. Base price is $63,965. Destination is $2,595 for a total price of $72,025. And then here are the fuel economy numbers off to the side. Now, if you've been keeping track of my videos, this is my first 2026 Ford F-150 Lariat review. I waited this long because I wanted to find a chromed out truck. And here we are at the end of February and I couldn't find one. They have one here, but I couldn't find the keys for it. So I know a lot of you guys will say you hate the monochromatic look, you don't like painted bumpers, you don't like blackout, but unfortunately that is what's popular. And there used to be a time when finding this truck was really hard and all you could find was chromed out trucks, but now it's really flipped the other side for sure. Now, why is Ford's marketing team brilliant? Let's talk about that for a second. Some of you guys have been noticing how Ford will drop their prices pretty significantly, just like they did for 2026. This truck is nearly $4,000 cheaper than 2025. So most of you guys be like, man, that is awesome. I mean, like, this is the perfect time to buy a Ford truck. However, once you start adding options, well, it's not really $4,000 anymore, because the question is, do you need four-wheel drive? And most people will say yes. I personally would never buy a pickup truck without four-wheel drive. It's just never going to happen, because you're going to take a huge hit on trade-in value depending on where you live at. And I've gotten stuck in wet grass with two-wheel drive before, especially if you don't have a locker. So I always want four-wheel drive. Now, with that being said, for 2026, four-wheel drive is an option, which means that's how they drop the price. But it gets worse. These packages are very, very interesting. So most of you guys know 18-inch wheels will come standard on these trucks, right? So if you want 20s, you pretty much have to go up to the 501A equipment group or add a black appearance package. On top of that, let me call out a few things that you get in the 501A equipment group. This is the mid-range package as they dub it online, okay? 20-inch wheels with the all-terrain tires, angular steps, okay? Power adjustable pedals. So let's go ahead and hop inside. So now if you want power adjustable pedals, I'm gonna turn the truck off now. If you want those, that's an option that you have to choose in the 501A equipment group. Also, you see right here, that power sliding glass is an option, okay? On top of that, your visors, this is interesting too. Your visors now have this option. So if you want visors that are illuminated, you now have to opt for that in the 501A equipment group. So this truck has 501A equipment group, right? So you have those features that I just called out. So if you just get the 500A equipment group, it has a lot of features that come standard still on this Lariat. However, if you want those little features, it's going to cost you $2,670. So that glass, vanities, running boards, and 20-inch wheels with all-terrain tires cost $2,670. Okay? Gets worse. 502A equipment group is $6,880, guys. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And all you get in that package is the extended running boards, okay? Also, It gives you ambient lighting in the iceberg colors, they call it, ice blue color, excuse me. Second row heated seats. So this truck doesn't have second row heated seats. You have to go up to the 502A equipment group. So if you have older parents or older kids and you want them to have just a little bit more comfort, now you have to go to 502A equipment group for that. Now you do get the 14 speaker B&O sound system, which personally, I would probably want that too. And then the mobile office comes a part of that 502A equipment group. That package is $6,880. So what am I trying to say to you right now? If you're looking to buy these trucks, the way that they're able to offset the costs is to just take away things from the previous year. But on top of that, if you want those little features, you now have to buy a really expensive package that doesn't seem fair in my opinion. But hey, it's not just Ford. Everyone does it. I think Ram might be the worst. They might be the worst because they'll like make the most basic features come a part of a second package. And it's like, there's only 2 things in that package and it's $1,200. Like, what the heck? But regardless of that, you guys do know that Ford does sell the most trucks. And it's simply because they do have a lot of good options. So I've always said this in the past. If you're looking to buy one of these pickups, number one, always make sure you check every trim level before you just start buying. And what I mean by that is sometimes it might make more sense to go just to a basic platinum over this Lariat because the price point is a little bit closer than it has ever been. And what's interesting is sometimes the higher trim levels don't make sense because you can get a lot of those features on these trucks too. But at the same time, there are features that you cannot get obviously on this Lariat that's available on the platinum. So you have to take time, go through each truck and look at the basic pickup. And I wish that they would have more trucks come in with the 500A equipment group on this truck, and same thing goes for like the platinum because there's packages for that truck as well. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this powertrain, and then I'm going to show you guys a few more things on the outside, and then we'll jump into the interior. For 2026, the EcoBoost now has 382 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. All that power does go through a 10-speed transmission, port and direct injection for this engine. Now, you can get the 5-liter Coyote with the Lariat for $120 more, okay? Now, the PowerBoost engine, it did also go down in power, but I feel as though, unless I do a lot of city driving, which I kind of do now, I would say, I probably would consider the PowerBoost over the other two. But I like the idea of that Coyote V8, just saying. I like the idea of the sound, and it's a platform that you can definitely add some extra performance to and really get some more out of it. But regardless, you can do the same thing with the other two as well because of the twin turbo V6. Let's go ahead and check out the bed. Now, I'm not sure if you guys noticed on the window sticker, this does have the longer wheelbase. So this is a 6.5 foot bed, and this is going to give you the best stability for towing. So make sure if you're building your truck from the factory, add the longer bed. Obviously get more space too. Longer wheelbase means better stability. And then get the trailer package because that typically will upgrade the leaf pack and the rear axle for you. 36-gallon fuel tank, okay? And then that FX4 package does give you some skid plates for that fuel tank and for that transfer case. Here's the FX4 badge. And you guys see in the bed, no spray in, but that is available. No bed view camera. No workstation for the tailgate. No step. So this is a more basic Lariat for sure. 400 watts of power. No bed lights either. Accessory ready. Class 4 hitch. And then, I like the white lettering. 331, the locker. Also, there's your spare tire. So it's just like a donut style. So it doesn't match the tire or wheel on this truck. Okay. And real quickly, let's go through the interior. I flip the truck around so you can see it a little bit better. Seat memories are there. 10-weight driver. Big seat cushions too. I always like that about the Ford trucks. No tilt headrests. You might have to go up to that 502A equipment group to get that. And just one last time with the controls on this side. Push button start. Here's that 360 camera. You guys see dual climate control, heated ventilated seats. This cover slides closed, and then no wireless charger. You guys see your USBs. No mobile office means you don't have this that flips over if you need to do some work inside your truck, and you don't have that wireless charger. So again, nickel and diamond. Now I want to show you guys some stuff here real quickly. So this is obviously your 12-inch display. You have your audio, navigation is on the split screen there. But if you go to settings, they have your vehicle, which shows a lot of nice features that you can set up here. And then eye icon on this side lets you know what it is. So yeah, you can customize your truck. And then general, if you want to turn off that beep sound, I did that earlier today actually, turned that off. You have that option too. And if you go to features, I mentioned this in another video, and I was wondering if someone knew where it was because I've only found it one other time. But you have an auto hold function. So if you get to a light, like you guys see up there, there's a light. Let's just pretend we stop at the light. That icon there will come up, and it allows you to rest your foot. So you don't have to keep your feet on the brake pedal, basically. I like that. And all you have to do is just hit the gas pedal, and it'll basically allow the brakes to be released. Last thing, you see right here, park aid sensors. I mentioned this in a video because this is very important to me. I've gone to campgrounds so many times in the past, and I like to be able to disable my rear parking sensors while I'm towing my trailer. I don't need those. But I like to keep the front sensors on because if you need to get around someone, if you're backing up, it's just nice having something to guide you on the front end while you're backing up your trailer. And I like that Ford and Ram do this, so that's a nice function that they give you. I know that GM does not offer that, and that's a really nice feature that Ford does have. Up here, real quickly, you have a place for your sunshades, home link, and no heads-up display. I like this screen too. It gives you a lot of nice features that you can see, like your gauges, for example. So it shows you temperatures. And under off-road, the compass does show you the elevation, which is 4,265 feet. So that's nice to have when you're traveling, because you know ambient temperatures, all that stuff does affect, you know, your truck, especially if you're towing a trailer. Let's go and check out the payload on the side of the door, and then I will pretty much end this video. Front gross axle weight rating is going to be 3,750 pounds. The rear is 3,800 pounds. Gross vehicle rating is 7,200 pounds. The wheels are 20 by 8.5 wide. Axle code is an L3. All-in payload is 1,802 pounds. That's pretty big for this truck. 35 PSI for the tires all the way around. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to find a chromed out F-150 Lariat next because, again, that's like a rare truck now. You can't find them anymore. These are so much more common. I want to say they have like maybe 5 or 6 Lariats here, and maybe only 1 or 2 of them have the chrome package. And I think they have like maybe 4 or 5 incoming that are blackout too. So this is definitely the new norm today when you're truck shopping.